Industry analysts are predicting that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to cost over $1 billion to make. We'll be talking about all of that in this video today and what it's going to mean for us when it comes time to purchase the game. So I came across this first article on Medium.com. It's by author Jay Walla. The real reason why GTA 6 will cost over $1 billion to make. And this article in particular goes into explain how, at a minimum, it's probably going to cost $1 billion for Grand Theft Auto 6 to exist. Because video games nowadays, especially massive ones, are very expensive. Like, for example, Star Citizen, the most expensive game ever to be made before GTA 6, cost about $415 million to develop, plus $100 million to market. Star Wars: The Old Republic, another one of the most expensive video games ever, cost around $200 million to make. And one of the most popular video games in history, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, cost between $50 to $100 million to make. And Grand Theft Auto 5, the most recent in the GTA series, ate up about $137 million for its development, but when you include all of the marketing costs, it balloons up to around $310 million. And to understand why Rockstar Games is going to be comfortable spending $1 billion plus on Grand Theft Auto 6 is because they know they're going to get that money back. The numbers don't lie. In fact, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, which we know we're going to be traveling to modern-day Vice City and Leonida in GTA 6, sold over 500,000 copies within 24 hours of becoming available. And in 2 more days, it was up to almost 1.5 million copies sold. And by 2006, it had sold 7 million copies in the US alone. And now in total, in present time, 17.5 million copies of the game have been sold. And that's nothing compared to Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. From 2004 to 2011, 27.5 million copies were sold worldwide across all platforms. And the craziest thing about that is it only cost $10 million to develop, but brought in $235 million in revenue. And what about Grand Theft Auto 5? Well, just in the first 24 hours, it made $815 million, and it made over $1 billion, $1.3 billion, in 3 days, making it the biggest video game in terms of money made in that time period of all time. And in total, now Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold over 190 million copies. And even though it cost $265 million to create, it has generated a staggering $8.5 billion in revenue. So that's why Rockstar Games are willing to bet $1 billion at a minimum on Grand Theft Auto 6, because at the end of the day, it's going to make them a ton of money. And yes, they make video games, but they are in the business of making video games. And if they aren't able to generate a income and revenue with this, they're not going to do it. So long story short, the numbers don't lie. And I'm not the only one that's talking about this. Another website, Motley Fool, is Take-Two Interactive's $2 billion bet on Grand Theft Auto 6, a no-brainer for investors in 2024. And in this article, they talk about how Take-Two Interactive's rumored $2 billion investment in Grand Theft Auto 6, remember, they are the parent company of Rockstar Games, how that could redefine the gaming industry's standards and profitability. The website also goes on to talk about how Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to carry the legacy of its predecessors, which is something that Take-Two Interactive and their executives like CEO Strauss Zelnick has talked about, how the game promises significant returns amid high expectations and industry shifts from the last Grand Theft Auto game that came out, which was in 2013. And they talk about the anticipation and the cultural impact of the GTA series and a signal for potential substantial financial returns if you're an investor of Take-Two Interactive. If you guys are interested, I will leave all these websites in the description and how they're talking about this. It really is interesting just to see the word Grand Theft Auto and billions thrown around here. It's pretty cool stuff. And another website I came across was Seeking Alpha. Take-Two Interactive, Grand Theft Auto 6 could break records, with Take-Two Interactive software posting a strong performance in Q2 2024, beating market expectations. The trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6 obviously receiving strong interest, suggesting potential for record-breaking sales and more. And in order to do that, it's actually not all that much. All they really have to do, and it seems crazy to say this, is sell over 40 million copies in 2025. But it looks like industry analysts predict that there's a potential for more than 55 million to be sold, with a more optimistic growth scenario. And I know $1 billion really does seem like a lot, and it is an absolute ton of money, but when you think about the fact that Grand Theft Auto 6 has been in development at some capacity since 2012, when you break it down by going on 10 to 12 years, it isn't as much as you think, at least for a company like Rockstar Games and for Take-Two Interactive, and for the fact that they're going to make so much money, it really boils down to probably like $100 million a year. It wouldn't be surprised if they broke Grand Theft Auto 5's record if they made over $1 billion in just 24 hours. I mean, by the time 2025 rolls around, there's going to be more people with PlayStation 5s. There's going to be more people with Xbox Series X and S's. And so I really do feel like it has the potential to do what Grand Theft Auto 5 did, but just on a grander scale. And so now what does that mean for us, the gamers, the fans that are actually going to play Grand Theft Auto 6? Well, it might mean that the title is more expensive. This is actually something we've heard from Take-Two Interactive CEO Strauss Zelnick, that he believes video games right now are underpriced at their $60 price point. He goes on to say that video games are creating more value than ever before, and they're also more expensive to produce than ever before, and he is right about that. And so therefore, the small increase from $60 to $70, number one, shouldn't be that big of an impact, and number two, should allow game developers like Rockstar more financial flexibility in order to create these titles. So it is something interesting to think about. It wouldn't be shocking if this is the first Grand Theft Auto title where the normal edition full price on day one is not $60, but instead is $70. And I know for me, I've been waiting on this game for like 10 plus years. The extra $10 isn't going to be something that stops me from purchasing it. If it's available for $60, I would say, okay, $70. I know I'm going to get my money's worth here. But for some people, they might put their foot down and say, you know what? I'm not going to buy it at that price point. It'll be interesting to see what comes out when Rockstar reveals the price of the game. Probably something that won't happen until later in the year or even closer to release in 2025. We'll just have to wait and see. But I would, of course, love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Do you think Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to cost over $1 billion to make? And do you think it's going to break all of the records that Grand Theft Auto 5 set about a decade ago? Let me know what you think in those comments down below. I would love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you want to stay up to date on all the GTA 6 videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.